Um, I am not gonna remember a lot of the details, but, like, generally, I do recall that I don't remember how the start of the session does anyone remember how the start of the session went? I remember that we made a quote unquote plan to sneak into Dovin Bond's house to gather information about him.
We are investigating where Talon's brother disappeared.
That's what happened in the beginning. Yes. And we had tracked him to this area and found like the little arrows from the
Spy
Thopters.
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 Thank you. Jesus, brain. Um and then I think it was Kalista that spotted a thopter and we
Yeah.
followed it. Yeah. And we followed it to see what it was doing. We had no idea what it was. Um, we had realized that the area that um, Talon's brother went where we assumed Talon's brother went missing was like across the street from Dovin Bond's house.
Mm-hmm.
So then decided that we should go and check out Dovin Bond's house. So there was a plan made in which Cordelia would wear Orzhov colors and distract
Mm-hmm.
Dovin at the door, while Kalista and Mirai kind of snuck in to see if they could find out any information uh, and that type of stuff. And that plan happened.
Mm-hmm.
Cordelia did a very good Orzovian, uh, you know, the word, the
Impression.
Beanie.
impression. Thank you. Impression. Yeah. We did do a beanie, but impression. Um, distracted a lady that was definitely not Dovin Bond. Uh, while Azra and Talon kind of kept watch on the Talon kept watch on the street and Azra kept watch on in the alley, uh, just in case Mirai and Kalista needed help.
Mm-hmm.
Kalista did some good searching. Uh, she walked into a thopter room, realized that Dovin was making thopters in his house, which now we know who's responsible for the spy bots. Um,
And the Thopters saw Calista.
yeah, and the thopter saw Kalista. It was a mutual sighting. Um, I believe Kalista found something in one of the rooms other than the thopters.
She found a journal, yeah.
Yeah, the journal. Um, and so while they were searching and like Kalista was just finishing up, a Azorius like basically arresting party came, marching down the street, uh spotted Talon, arrested him, uh um Cordelia tried to like step in and then they arrested her. And then Kalista and Mirai got out of Dovin's house, and Azra was basically like, GTFO kids. Mirai levitated over a wall. Kalista squeezed her way into the sewers, and Azra willingly went to prison. Um, they got to Azorius prison, and we found Talon's brother. Woo!
You
And now we're
did.
all under arrest, and Azra passed out. Or attempted to in her jail cell 'cause she's very tired.
Yes.
Mhm.
Uh, I mean, she is. very tight. And can I get, what would it be? If I could get a constitution save from everyone who is currently in jail, that would be great. Thank you.
Ah, wonderful. The dice gods hate me.
hmm I think Azrael's asleep or unconscious, as we call it. And this is going to be a very boring map for the people who aren't in prison, but them
It's
is
okay.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Oh no. Where are we?
In prison.
like
Oh,
I
there we are.
haven't set up like you're not locked in by the doors. Like you are locked in by the doors, but I
Yeah, but-
haven't covered them so that you can see like what's outside of your cell.
Okay.
Because they are barred doors and yeah.
I just
you would
couldn't
have
see
some
where I was
vision.
on the map, and I was very confused.
Can we drop our tokens?
You should be on
Yeah.
the back.
Actually, let me. There's a
Yeah,
lot of
Yeah,
dead space. in-
approximately where?
Yeah.
Because I want to.
Yeah. So let's put you in the hallway outside Talon. Oh, hey, Talon.
Oh
I love
fuck! I
you.
God damn, this map is huge. I lost myself again. There I
Yeah.
am.
It is.
We're Luke Skywalker. We're here
It's
to rescue.
very big.
I'll
Hey,
put you. I'll put you next to Azrael. You can watch over her while she's sleeping.
Holy shit. Okay.
That didn't sound good.
I mean, to be fair, this is the biggest fucking map I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Where do you,
it is.
Where do you find these, Kristen?
You know, I have a stockpile.
Good God.
So, welcome to jail. Uh,
This isn't my first rodeo.
It's my first rodeo, so
Well, that'd be a shame if your dad came down here, wouldn't it?
Oh.
what?
go
Why
back
is
to
it-
Dreamland, Azrael.
Ezreal's passed out. It's okay.
Can you guys hear the music?
Yes. Is your master volume very low?
Nope. I'm just reloading.
Okay.
The music is very good. It's very atmospheric.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, that explains it. When I opened the game, it did not open my game. It opened the Seven Seals. Cool. For some reason. Roll20 does a weird thing if you have multiple instances of Roll20 open and then
Yes,
you
it
close one of
does.
them. It's sort of like, oh, I think we're in the other instance. And I'm like, calm your shit.
Mhm.
That was not the decision I made.
Yes. Talon. In the cell across from you, you can see Aaron. He appears to be injured, although he has been given medical attention. Like, you see fresh bandages on him. Cordelia, you hear like faint voices coming from above you, though your vision is severely limited, and Azrael is soundly sleeping. Talon, is that you?
It is. We have been looking for you, as a matter of fact.
Now, why the fuck would you do a stupid thing like that?
Well, as secretive as you have been about everything, we have been involved in a number of interesting incidents ourselves, which led back to you in a sense.
Me? How?
Well, the Azorius came up, and to that end, you came up.
How did my name come up?
Well, first an arrestor seemed to know of you. Apart from that, you have been around in the precinct, and you have been shot by the Azorius.
Hate to tell you this, bro, but kind of comes with the territory of what I do, you know? That's no reason for you to get yourself shoved down in a hole.
No, we didn't expect to be shoved down a hole. But as you probably realize, Ravnica is in a bit of a shithole.
So, Selesnya,
Elaborate.
the Glade Master, I was following him.
To where and why?
The house across the street from where they got me.
Hmm. Do you know of why he was going there?
Well, I know who it belongs to, if that's what you're asking.
Part of it.
Look, something's going on. Something more than the usual bickering of the guilds.
Yes. That we have gathered as well.
And if there's a conspiracy, well, you know me. I get offended if they don't invite me to that kind of bullshit.
So you stuck your nose out.
You see like a weak shrug from the other.
Hmm.
So I was heading back. Gonna report in what I had found, but goddamn Dippythopters.
You and me both. But what did you find out?
I think they're working for the same person.
Who is? If you know.
Not sure, but they're not the only two.
The house belonged to who as well?
Yeah,
Who?
sorry. I mean, Dovin Bond? Azoria's new wonder kid.
That one. Funny story. We were arrested around there as well. Have you only now caught wind of all this, or has it been going on for a while?
Well, it's been going on for some time. But I couldn't really put it together before. It was just. I mean, everyone has friends in other guilds. You keep them on the DL, that's what you do. But everyone knows people in other guilds. It's not something to put you on a hit list for.
Of course not.
But the Grove Master, Dovenban, that Orzov bitch.
Are we talking about the same?
I don't know her name. The
Pontiff?
Grove. Yeah,
Hmm.
I think they're all in on it together.
Well,
I'm just not sure what it is.
if it is one high ranking, and if you know it is a pontiff, one I now, you could say, travel with, she may know more.
The dark-haired one. The new one?
Yes, that one.
No, the pontiff. The dark-haired one.
Oh. I don't know if she's dark-haired.
Well, I'm sure we'll figure this out, but I just hope we'll get out of here before it's too late.
That is the plan.
So do you have a way out of here?
None, though resourceful, are the ones outside, and resourceful are the ones inside. And I can arm myself whenever I want.
Well,
But sneaking out would be better.
I am sneaky, but there's a lot of guards.
Hmm.
Can I get perception checks from Talon and Cordelia, the two awake people?
The two
Oh,
not
boy.
unconscious people.
And you really want perception?
Mm-hmm.
Good thing Talon's on it. That's not,
Not
too
bad. It's pretty good for you.
bad for a negative one, yeah.
Yeah.
There seems to be arresters patrolling the hallways. And like when they pass by Talon and Aaron, they're like, "Shut up! Late, lights out." But you do hear like other voices further up. Footsteps coming closer. And Talon, you see a Verdalkin man
Hmm.
coming around the corner.
Oh, of course.
Excuse me, Doan, I'll get out your way.
Like,
Well, well, well. Look like we are starting a collection.
a misunderstanding, I'm sure.
I'm sure. I thought no one else knew. It appears you told your brother. Makes me wonder what else you lied about during your questioning. And he's saying that to Aaron, and Aaron looks like, gulp, oh shit, he's scared. You're guessing the questioning wasn't over like tea and crumpet.
No, that was probably like, how much pain does it take, this one?
Now, am I on the same floor as this is happening, or am I?
Yes. You see, like you can vaguely hear what they're talking about because like the cell opposite from you, the cell that you can barely see here.
Yeah. Oh, hello.
So, and he is like standing on the other side of it because on that side he has like a door that faces Talon's cell.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you can like, you are 35 feet away from Talon.
All right, cool. So I can definitely hear all of this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what questioning he has gone through, but that in particular is probably very true. He tells me nothing.
Sure. Stick to your story. Don't worry, the procedure is extremely non-invasive.
You seemed like a smart man. No.
He preens a bit, and he's like, I am.
Then you should know your people as well. When you look at them, that one doesn't tell anything to anyone. He likes it that way.
Well, that's the glory of our questioning methods. He doesn't have to say anything at all. You'll find out.
Oh, I'm certain.
It's late. The guards are getting restless. I'm sure you have plenty of time down here for a family reunion. Keep it down or we'll move you.
Of course.
And he sort of moves out of the hallway.
I will wait
And-
until I can't hear his footsteps any longer.
Yeah. They seem to continue north for quite a while. Fading
Awesome.
from earshot.
What an absolute pleasure of a cunt you have enjoyed down here.
He's not lying. They
I
have
don't-
ways of tapping into your mind. You don't even have to say anything. They just pick the answers right up out of your head.
Hmm. But that proves one thing at least. We are not getting out without breaking a few things along the way.
I mean, That's the problem with conspiracies. I enjoy a good brawl as much as the next person, but the guards, the arresters down here, they're just doing their job.
Hmm. Breaking doesn't mean killing.
Nope.
They get a bit of sick leave, and we hopefully get out.
But what happens when we get out?
Yeah, and like I think Cordelia is like whisper shouting,
Yeah.
you know? So like I'm trying to be quiet, but I'm also trying to make you hear me. Well, I suppose we need to warn some people.
Warn whoever we can, and at this point, one step at a time.
I mean, even if we manage to get out, then we have loads more trouble after us.
Since you can hear us, I suspect you heard the conversation. He and I are not getting out of here.
And it's around this time when you see an Azorius in he's wearing robes. It's not Dovin Bond, but it's definitely someone of higher station than these arresters. And he just like ignores you, Talon, ignores Aaron, just keeps walking down the hallway. Miss Cordelia, ma'am,
Yeah.
we have examined your writ, and we shall return you to your brother at once.
Oh, thank you.
And he sort of like opens the gate and gestures for you to come.
And what of the two centaurs?
Oh, I assume they'll be questioned tomorrow and let go as soon as that's complete. Could you make me a wisdom saving throw?
Oh boy.
Modify memory.
Nope.
Cordelia? You were breaking into Dovin's Bond's house. It seemed like a lark at the time. I mean, it's not like you found anything, but they took you in for questioning. Talon, he resisted arrest. It's probably going to be a couple of days before he's out. But what can you do?
Oh, darn.
Everything is fine.
Jeez.
Fucking
Everything's
knew it!
fine.
Everything is fine.
Okay, well, lead the way. That voice crack.
Yep.
Yeah, and like you have a very lovely chat, and it's like, I actually trained under your father for a short period. I mean, extremely knowledgeable, but like a horrible teacher, like awful. I was terrified of him. Like it's really friendly
Yeah.
and really like, oh my god, they're like so nice. Why was Talon so dumb and like started fighting them? That's like super silly.
Jeez. His horse brain must have kicked in. Poor fella.
Mhm.
I'm sure he'll be fine. He doesn't seem like he's capable of hurting a person, but you know what? It'll all work out.
Oh, and your other friend Azrael? I mean, she has some outstanding warrants. It's just a formality.
Yeah.
It'll all be sorted through soon enough.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I grew up around you guys. Like, always so.
Yeah, and he will lead you out. I'm not gonna move your token because we're in here now, so I'm just leaving you where it is. But he does lead you out the front door. There is like a pretty large arrestor presence, but nothing that seems like extraordinary for prison.
Right.
It all seems fairly above board.
I mean, one question though. Now, did he alter the memory of Dovin Bond literally talking about doing experiments?
Like everything, like you were taken, you had to give up your writ, Talon resisted arrest, Azrael. Like the last hour, it's gone. It's replaced with like a very pleasant conversation over tea and you being let go.
Oh boy. Okay.
They're so nice though.
Well, yeah, everything's gonna work out perfectly fine. I'm making some more Azorius friends. Oh,
This is important. Mirai,
Hi.
what are you doing?
So I flew out of the scene of the crime,
Mm-hmm.
and I was aware that some, if not most, of my friends got arrested.
Yeah.
I also kind of would have had to lay low and recharge for a bit.
So where would you go? The safety of Nivix?
I think.
Or the Caldera?
I think they'll be looking for me at those places if they actually. I don't know. If there's I have to assume that there's a warrant out for my arrest, even if there may not be.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking of trying to sneak into Altair's apartment in Precinct
2.
2. There I can formulate a plan to prison break my friends and get at least a short rest.
Yeah.
Or they'll be waiting for me and I'll be arrested, but you can't hide forever.
That is valid. I mean, you're not very far away and you're flying. It's fairly easy to make your way to Altair's old apartment. Why don't you give me a stealth check
Sure.
and a perception?
Okay.
Yeah, no,
Alright.
cool.
I'm gonna re-roll this stealth check with my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh!
Excellent.
Great.
Yeah, no. You get to the building. And there's like this moment when you come up the stairs to the floor where Altair's room is. And you're like, huh. And the guards outside of his door is like, huh. And you just look at each other, and then they start moving toward. What do you do?
I don't think I can get away again. Just be like, yep, this wasn't a smart plan.
You're gonna surrender and let yourself be arrested, or are you like trying to run?
I'll surrender.
Mm-hmm. And they're like, halt in the name of the law.
I'm already in the prison map anyway.
You're already
Oh my
in the
God.
prison map anyway. And look, there's a cell available. The one
Oh,
Cordelia
good.
just left.
I was
Oh,
worried about
wow.
that, but it's all gonna be fine.
Mirai, roll me Constitution.
Oh yeah, of course.
Like, you suffer a bit of rough treatment. It's not something we would really call police brutality, but they're definitely not like sweet and gentle and let me get you a warm cup of tea. Like,
Savages.
yeah, you're gonna have some bruises in the morning, mainly in your upper arms. Like, Mirai is a smallish woman, and you were slowing them down, so they kind of just lifted you up and carried you along. Throw you in the back of like a wagon. And it's really give me survival.
Sure.
Yeah, it's hard. It's dark, and a lot of the like familiar noises of the city aren't there, but you have a pretty good idea that they're taking you to the headquarters.
Okay.
So somewhere within New Prob. Callista,
Yes.
what are you doing?
Well, I made my way to the caldera, so pretty much just waiting for Sahili to show up.
Well, it's probably around 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning when Cordelia is released.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, Callista is like waiting for breakfast at the caldera, like
Yes.
probably napping over a table, waiting for Saley to get up, or just anyone to get up.
Yeah.
Cordelia, what do you do after they release you?
I mean, I guess I would just go to the caldera. Because, like, I have nothing to hide.
Everything is fine. Excellent. Yeah, you make your way to the caldera, and like it's probably around like 6:30 in the morning, like just before breakfast starts, that you make your way there. And you see Callista napping over a table. Probably the back table with Azrael's dogs.
Oh, well, that's great. I'll get both of us breakfast and we can sit and chat.
Yeah, Callista, I think you wake up to like the sound of like tableware hitting the table that you're resting your head on.
The smell of syrup coming.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet nectar.
Good morning.
Good morning. She starts rubbing the sleep out of her eyes. Time is it.
Oh, It's morning. I got us breakfast.
Hmm. I think Callista just kind of like pours some syrup into a cup.
The universe is like, wait for it. Wait for it.
Yeah, I'll just enjoy my syrup cup.
Yeah. You see Sahili coming down and like stepping over to the counter, putting in her breakfast order before she sits down at the table 2 down from you, where she normally sits in the mornings and have her breakfast.
I have to talk to that one.
Okay, sure. I'll eat my morning steak.
You have steak for breakfast every day.
Yeah, it's great protein.
Okay, I don't think it's that healthy to have so much red meat, but it's okay. As she takes a long swig of her pure sugar. Yeah, I will go put my hand on Sahili's shoulder.
Good morning, Callista.
Good morning. I need your help with something, and maybe you can... well, maybe I need your help. I hope you can help is what I mean to say.
Your friend talked to me about the gold. I'm afraid that I cannot help you topple the economy of Ravnica today.
Well, some other day maybe, but this is a different problem.
Oh, okay.
So... Have you ever done a promise before? With Pinky?
What?
It means you can't break a promise. If you do this, like you hook your pinky into my pinky right now, and we make a promise, then you can't break it, okay? And I can't break it
What
either.
am I promising?
You can't... You have to promise to not tell anybody who gave this to you, except for me. You can tell, because I know already, because it's me, and that's pretty much it.
So I am free to share whatever information is in it. I'm just not at liberty to say where I got it from.
Well, the problem is I don't really know what the information is, and that's what I need your help with. I've never seen writing like it, but you said you were from somewhere else, so maybe it's from somewhere else too.
Yeah, and she gives you that look that when you meet someone from Texas and you're like, oh, hey, my cousin lives in Texas. And they're like, yeah, I don't know every person in Texas. I don't know every language in the universe. And she's like giving you like, I mean, I will take a look at it, but I don't know what you're expecting me to find. And she sort of like holds up her pinky.
Yeah, I'll lock my pinky into hers. Okay, deal.
Oh. So what is this information then?
Well, we were talking before about Dovin Bond. You remember when we talked about him? Because it was just like yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
He dropped something. It was like his personal journal, and I have it. And I was wondering maybe if you could read it and tell us if there's really bad stuff inside, because he's going to be elected today, probably. And if there's bad stuff, we should stop it as soon as possible. And I'll just drop the... I'll drop the copy of the journal on the table.
Dropped. Yeah, sure. She opens it, and like her eyes seems to be like flickering, like she's reading, and then she like flips a couple of pages, reads, flips a couple of pages, reads. Okay, here.
I will also point out to her where I saw Asperia's name and Jace's name specifically. And like point out those times. Or the dates rather.
This is... Dovin seems to think that he is here to save Ravnica.
From what?
Itself. He believes the guild system is deeply flawed. And she like shrugs like, oh, he does have a point, but you know, it's what we got. I don't think he's the one who killed Desperia. But he seems to believe that by reshaping the laws, he can turn Ravnica into some kind of utopia. A place of perfect order.
But that's not utopian for things that don't like order.
No, but Dovin does.
Well, I don't like him.
Very few people do. I'm trying to... He keeps referring to his master. Oh God. Where did you say your friends were?
Well, I don't know for sure, but I think they got arrested. At least some of them did. But probably Nuprov.
You need to get them out.
Okay.
There's a reason why we're stuck here, why we can't leave.
Yeah.
The Guild Pact. There's power in it. The power that resided in Jace. With Jace dead, it's up for the taking. His master intends to claim the power for himself.
Do we know who that person is?
It's not a person. It's something much older and much crueler.
Azra?
An ancient dragon.
Oh. So Wouldn't that be sort of obvious if there was a big dragon around?
Do you see any big dragons around?
No. So, what? I don't understand.
If Dovin takes over Azorius, Azorius controls the chamber of the Guild Pact. Until someone claims the power of the Guild Pact, it is de facto Azorius who holds that power. That means if Dovinbon takes over, he can change every law to suit him and his purposes.
So how do we stop that? He's going to take over this afternoon.
She's looks like she's thinking deeply. I'm generally not one for bloodshed, but we have to prevent Dovimban from taking over Azorius, whatever it takes.
Okay, but I don't know enough people to be able to do that.
Surely you know someone in power. Someone that could help us.
I mean, there is one person, but I can try.
If Dovimban takes over, he could potentially make someone's very existence illegal. Do you know what would happen then? With the power of the Guild Pact behind him?
Not exactly, but I'm creative enough to think of things that could.
Then you understand why he needs to be stopped. I have friends here. I'll try to rally those I can. You said he's being elected this afternoon?
Yeah, that's when it happens.
Do you know what time?
I think it was, let's see, I don't know if I wrote the time down. I think it was like early afternoon.
The funeral for Asperia is at noon, and the election will be held directly after.
Yes.
So
Okay, yes.
it kind of depends how long the funeral.
The funeral goes, yeah. After
Yeah.
the funeral for Asperia is finished.
So 1 at the earliest?
Probably.
That gives us 6 hours.
Okay, I won't waste any time.
Neither shall I. And she sort of gets up and like she hasn't touched her breakfast. Like she just sat down when you came with the book.
Yeah. Cordelia.
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good. What are you doing today?
Not much. Not much. Do you need help with anything?
Yeah, so it's gonna be pretty dangerous, probably. Do you want to go on a trip with me for a little bit? I'm going to stop by Orzova for a minute and talk to a person or two, and then, we have to go about, probably finding Azra and Talon and Mirai, wherever she is.
Oh well, Talon and Azrael, they're in prison. They'll be there for a couple days.
Yeah, we have to sort of make that different really
Well-
soon.
Well, why?
Because, the world's gonna end today, so we're under a little bit of time pressure, so we can't waste any, and I'm gonna go now. If you want to come with,
Oh,
you can come with.
okay. I'll come with. I'll come with. Chugs her drink and then stomps after.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, back in jail, Azra is waking up. Talon maybe napped slightly during the course of the night, if that.
That was
Mirai.
enough to get rid of my exhaustion, right?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful.
You got sleep. Like you all were arrested around midnight, so you've been
Okay.
here for 8 hours.
Wonderful.
Mirai has been neatly tucked into the cell over here.
Oh fuck!
Okay.
I'm lost again. Where am I?
I mean, yeah, you're above me. I know that much. You're up there somewhere.
I found me. I'm right here.
And the only reason I know that is because Callista pooped through the wall at some point.
Oh god, she pooped through the wall.
I saw her just... Yeah, there we go.
Nice.
Ooh, nice portents.
Those are going to be important later.
Hey.
Look, rocks falling, Mariah.
I don't think that's the first time that joke's been made.
Probably not. I'm not very original.
I really hope it keeps going.
Somehow I think that's sarcasm.
No, it's really not. I want it to keep going.
Azrael, you get collected from your cell.
Oh, fuck! Kristen, I just found myself. Where am I
Just
now?
Scroll up slightly. I just
Oh,
moved you up. Pretty much a
Jesus
straight line.
Christ. Okay. There I am.
Mm-hmm. This place is disorienting. Like, they do that shit on purpose with prisons to keep you from breaking out.
Mm-hmm.
And you see a very nice law mage, and he's like, please, Ms. Azrael, have a seat.
I prefer standing.
Well, that's quite all right. Now, I do have a few questions, if you wouldn't mind. You were found in the middle of what appears to be a break-in attempt at the house of a high-ranking member of the Azorius.
I was standing in an alley, and then I was told that I was being arrested. Do not know what you mean.
Mm-hmm. But Azrael, what are you thinking about?
Probably that I hope this guy doesn't go in my head because this would be really awkward considering there's already 2 people in here.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably my biggest concern.
Yeah, no, he's in there.
Oh, Jesus. Well, this is awkward for everybody that's involved then, I'm sure.
Yeah, but like for now, he's just like he's trying to direct what you're thinking about with his questions, but he's
Yeah.
just surface thoughting.
Okay, good. I have a feeling that, like, my sword's in the back of my mind. It's like, what
Yeah,
the
it's
fuck?
pretty
What the
deep
fuck
in
is...
there.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck is going on?
Who's this Joker?
Yeah. This is my home turf. Get the fuck out.
And the companions that you were with,
Yes.
and he just like starts writing down names as you like think of, like probably it's like, you know, annoying devil child.
It's descriptive terms, but like Azra's mind would also go back to like other companions that she was like that has in her time. Because I feel like this is probably not the first time that she's been.
Arrested? No.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like it's a list of like, yeah, she won't. It won't be names. It'd be descriptive terms, but then it'd be like also talking about like people she's worked with in Orzhov and shit like that too.
Yeah, and like the questioning is quite thorough. It's like, who do you work for? Who do you take your orders from? And like you tend to like answer bullshit answers.
Yeah.
But like he does seem to be like quite satisfied with what he's writing down.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you, Miss Azrael, for your cooperation. We will, of course, inform you, Pontiff, that we have you in our care.
Azra goes absolutely like just uncomfortably rigid at that point. Is there a preference where that doesn't happen and I could just rot in the jail cell? Is it the choice I have?
You always have choices.
Your
Would you
tone does not
prefer-
alleviate that.
Would you prefer a different one?
Then informing the Pontiff, yes, I would prefer a different choice.
Well then. Why don't you write down people who were with you at the time of the break-in and any place they might go? He hands you a piece of paper. If I am satisfied that you're being truthful, maybe we can come to another kind of arrangement.
Fuck.
Oh, I see.
Azrael will pull the paper closer to her. And she will take the pen. And she'll just heave a big sigh. And then start writing stuff down.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a moment. Then puts the pen down, slides it back over to the law mage.
He turns the paper, reads what you've written.
Yeah, in just a mixture of both Abyssal and Celestial and all the lovely languages she knows, she's written "Go fuck yourself."
Wonderful.
And then she just grins at him.
I'm sure your mistress will be very pleased with her little pet. And like you've suspected that he's in your brain for a long time, but like that shit he just picked out of your brain.
How many people are in this room actively? Just the law mage and this boy?
Yeah, there's an arrestor.
How quickly do you think he can get up those stairs?
The arrestor?
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I'm gonna. Azra's just gonna fucking like go to tackle the fucking law mage with that comment. She doesn't give a shit.
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Can't arrest me if I attack somebody. Well, no, can't give me to my pontiff if I attack somebody.
Yeah, sure. Roll me an attack.
It would just be unarmed because I don't have my thing. Which I think is just the d20 plus the strength mod, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna be good. Yeah, that makes sense.
Wonderful. Can you give me a wisdom saving throw?
Oddly enough, yes. A good one. I can do it.
Yeah, no, your body just like freezes up. You can move your eyes and your mouth, but like nothing else moves. Like you're just held like a held person. And the law mage kind of like leans in. Just, straightens your jacket, brushes off your shoulders. You know what? I'll make sure you're delivered to her personally. Her gratitude might be quite beneficial to us. Take her back. And like the guard just comes up, lifts you up under one arm and starts carrying you. Like you're still stiff as a board, like you're still held.
Oh, there is an angry rage going on in her mind.
And yeah, he just carries you down this hallway that you came in and shoves you back in your cell and closes the door. And the arrestor continues on, comes to Talon's cell, opens it. You, follow.
Wow, putting a lot of faith there. I dare say, just letting a prisoner out. It's like, oh yeah, you follow me.
Yeah,
Which is scary,
I mean,
which is really scary. Oh, and I get to see a lot of things. That's nice.
mm-hmm.
Oh, hello, Ezreal.
And the arrestor sort of like gestures to the dais where the desk is. Hmm. Talon, was it?
That is correct.
Wonderful. Let's see, Selesnya, and he's sort of like just filling out what appears to be forms. So, how many of your compatriots was involved in the attempted break-in?
Of that, I do not know.
Wonderful.
Looking for my brother.
Yes, your brother. I
Who
see.
you seem to have in custody as well.
Yes, well, he was resisting arrest.
No surprise.
Not to worry, you should all be released shortly. By nightfall, I suspect.
Of course.
Do you have any statement you would like to issue at this time?
Mm, none that I believe is important.
Wonderful. And your brother?
About him?
Give me an insight.
Yay, I'm good at insights.
Yeah, yeah, I think. I mean, from what your brother told you, like you know that they use mind magic,
Yep.
and you're pretty sure, like right now he's on a fishing expedition. He's just throwing out like names and like taking note of like whatever you're thinking about when he throws out these names, trying to like gauge the depth of your knowledge.
Yeah. What about him?
We will be detaining him for a few more days. He did break a nose or two in his attempt to evade justice.
It isn't his first time, I believe. He's used to it.
I am aware. You have, of course, been informed that your a companion from Boros has been released.
No, I was not aware of this.
Well, she was released earlier this morning.
Suppose it is no surprise, given who she is. But it's good that she is out.
So, it would not concern you that we have placed her under surveillance for the time being?
Whatever she did to deserve such, I am sure it was a reasonable response that you make.
Yeah, but what are you thinking about, Talon?
Say again?
Oh, when you're saying this, what are you thinking?
Like, he's thinking, under surveillance. Well, that's good to know. That's like his foremost, like, depends on how deep he goes, but that's the foremost, like, oh, that's good to know that she's under surveillance.
Mm-hmm. And, like, the questioning lasts for about, like, 20 minutes. Some of the questions are quite invasive. Like, he asks about your family and your sister and where you live. And after about 20 minutes, he's like, I thank you for your patience.
Of
The arrestor will
course.
escort you back into your cell, and we'll get started on the paperwork.
I am looking forward to being out again. Cramped spaces such as this are not of my liking.
Of course. And he sort of like gives you an incline of his head. And he looks smug as fuck. He has a very punchable face.
Yeah. You know what? Sure, Rue, you win. You win this time. You win this one time only. I feel like I want to kill Azorius more than I want to kill Orzhov right now.
You know what? I'll take it. I honestly, I'll accept it, and I take it. And you know what?
What?
It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling to know we're on the same boat.
Yeah.
Because I want to kill some Orzhov people too, but like right now,
It's just all about the Azorius.
yeah.
Fuck those guys. Even though some of these people are innocent.
Mirai.
Oh, hello, friendo.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
There's a super nice Azorius arrestor here
Oh no.
Oh
to
yes.
collect you.
Would I have popped out of my like hold person at this point?
Oh yeah.
Okay, thank God.
I'm just gonna move you. Like
Okay.
it's pretty much straight up, but there's like a couple of...
Mirai would have walked past me though.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Az was very concerned about this now.
Like a
You
sheepish,
see her.
sheepish wave, just like, hi.
Jesus.
Mirai Pepper. What can you tell me about the nature of your friend Altair's research?
Well, if we consider that in a deck of Ravnican playing cards, there... How many cards would there be? Do you want it just to be 52?
68.
68. That means a shuffle of those cards is 68 factorial possibilities. If we consider all of the shuffles that have happened among every Ravnican over the course of history, what do you think the odds are that if I were to shuffle a deck of cards, it would be a new shuffle?
He's like frowning slightly. Well, quite high.
Mario will just nod satisfied. She was only thinking about probabilistic math.
Mm-hmm. And that is what his research was about? Probability?
I'm just thinking as hard as I can about math.
What about marginal probabilities?
Don't know what you mean. Math is math.
Well, a shuffle in a deck of cards. There's really no symmetry to it. But not all variables are random. I'm sure there's not a Mirai in every shuffle. Or even an Altair.
I think Mirai, despite herself, would stop and frown at that.
So we are looking at a smaller sampling, a sampling where the two of you exist at the same time. No?
What I don't understand, how did you even know about Altair? He's dead. What do you care if I go to his house?
His research was dangerous.
I can see how it might seem that way. To the uninitiated.
I find it very hard to find any other way to see it. Miss Pepper? Do you believe in destiny?
I believe that choices can have long-ranging consequences that the unobserving might take as destiny.
Do you think there might be a future in which Ravnica has no leader, no guild pact, and the plane simply collapses in on itself, with the guilds leading the charge?
Who are you? No
Oh,
simple arrester.
I'm just someone working for a greater cause.
Well, here's what I think. I think Dovinban is incredibly dangerous.
Of course he is.
And I think we have, I don't know, I've kind of lost track of time, but half a day to stop him.
Stop him from doing what?
Ushering in his warped version of the law. Bringing more of his plane traveling ally to this plane to exploit the poor Ravnican people.
The law mage gives you a considering look. Dovin Baan is singular man. A man with a vision. One that ensures the safety of all of Ravnica.
I assume when we keep fish in bowls that we consider them safe too, but they're not free to swim about an entire zonot or even an ocean.
Unfettered freedom. Is that what you want then?
I want the freedom to be able to make mistakes and to make progress. If everything's static and observed forever, it's just not possible to work that kind of system with the living.
Hmm. But when your choices are war, or peace, what do you choose?
obviously peace is preferable. But you know, if you can't come to terms with some very violent people, I think it's going to come to conflict, no matter what you wish.
You're a young woman of singular intellect. I understand that your ideas have not always found a home in, is it? You know, Azorius. We're doing some work into precognition. You could find a home here if you wanted to. A home for your ideas. For your
Get rid of-
creativity.
Get rid of all these thopters and then we can talk.
The Thopters worry you?
They should worry every free citizen of Ravnica.
They're just tools. Mechanical innovations. I thought you as an Izzo would appreciate them.
They have a certain elegance of design, but I think the tools are being misused currently.
Well, I'm talking about peace, Mirai. But it comes at a cost. Everything does. The softwares are a useful tool.
And what if
You're young.
Yes, I'm young.
The
Doesn't
future
mean-
could be bright for you. In Azorius.
Did Dovin tell you to extend this offer to me?
Not specifically. But Dovin is a very clever man who enjoys the company of other clever people. You could be one of those people. You seemed concerned. Maybe you would like to air your ideas with someone that matters.
You make it sound as if people who can't travel the universe don't matter.
Of course they do. That's the point. That's why we're fighting for peace, not war. I'll give you some time to think about it.
All right, I suppose I have a lot to think about.
And he sort of gestures at the guard that was like standing by the door, but like in the room.
That's why he's
And
so confused. He's like, I'm a rookie. I don't know what's happening.
mm-hmm. And he leads you back into your cell. Cordelia and Callisto, what are you guys up to?
Well, we can't really like just go out in public.
Well, I mean, I can. Everything's fine.
Actually, that's a really good point. Did Sahili give me the journal back?
Yep.
I will share with Cordelia what's in it and what Sahili has said about Dovin. Maybe you can get this to your brother. I'll make my way to Orzova and you can bring it to him, and maybe he can do something about like the election, and maybe we don't have to do worse things, but having information like that is really important, especially if people are going to vote, and I just think that he should have it, and you can get it to him for sure.
Yeah, I can get it to my brother.
Okay. After that, I don't really know what's gonna happen.
Well, fallback plan, meet at the caldera.
Could meet back here, it isn't too far. Okay. If you're not back, like how much time would it take for her to get to her brother's office, fill him in on the details, and get back to the caldera reasonably? Like, are we talking, maybe we should maybe
Probably
meet
about
at the
3
funeral.
hours.
Yeah, I don't think we'll have time. Okay. Maybe we should meet at the funeral. I think it's at Luprov.
I have an inn, kind of. I can make it.
Are there landmarks? Like, do we know where this funeral's being held? It's like in between the towers, isn't it? Or am I just making that? Okay.
Yeah.
So, is there like a good tree or something like that the both of us would know? Because we passed by it, just like with casual, passive observance of things. Like, oh yeah, meet by that one that's in that spot. Just
The cotton candy stand.
Oh yeah, there's. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there were things in the middle of the square when you were there, but you're guessing that they'll probably be cleaned out if they're gathering all of Azorius there.
What about, okay, just like one of the corners of your brother's building, like I can't remember what orientation they're in, but like the southwest corner of this of the Sova tower, right?
Yeah,
we could do something like that.
Fine. I mean, or we could probably meet in the lobby, or no, you can't.
I don't, yeah.
Back corner works. I could also give you my horse, because if I'm close to my horse, I know what's going on.
I just don't want to draw any extra attention to myself is all.
Right.
Okay, so if one of us isn't there at the start of the funeral, we'll know something's gone wrong.
Yes.
Okay.
And where are you heading in the meantime, Callista?
Kaya.
Okay. Yeah, give me a stealth check.
With a +10.
And a perception check. Wonderful. Yeah. I mean, you keep a fairly low profile. Back alleys. Blending in with the crowds. When you have to cross the main thoroughfares. And you make it to the Orzova. And sometimes I think like Orzova can feel quite oppressive. But this time you enter and it's like, whew, made it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, then I would hurry toward Kaya's office.
Yeah, you enter. Her secretary is sort of like sitting at the desk, but like nods you through. Like, yeah, she's alone. You can walk straight through.
Kaya?
Kalista, wonderful. Please.
Oh, so we got big trouble, I think.
Well, I have some good news.
Okay. I'm ready for good news.
I have been informed that they are going to release your friends.
Okay.
They should be released before nightfall.
So I have some bad news.
She like frowns slightly, like, but no, I just said good news. Don't ruin the moment.
We have to get them out faster. Delvin Bond is probably going to be elected. We're trying to prevent that some way, but like I'll fill her in also on what I read in the, or what Sahili read in the journal.
You don't have to worry about Dovimbaum.
Why not?
Well, remember what we talked about? A better Ravnica, not one with the guilds destroying the common people. A Ravnica that is fair for all, including the guildless.
Yeah.
That is what Dovimban is working for.
No. He wants perfect order in everything, and that doesn't work.
Well, you're right about that. But where Dovin is limited in his thinking, his master is much more open.
Who is this master?
Well, I suppose if I tell you, it's not really a big deal. He'll be here soon enough. His name is Bolas.
I've seen that name.
He's old. He's ancient. He's why I'm here.
What do you mean?
He hired me to come here.
To do what?
Help. He saw it. Callista. The injustice. The suffering. The self-righteousness of the guilds. He saw it all. And he knew, like we know, it could not go on. Our time is coming. Soon. The
How
guilds will
soon?
by nightfall. I promise, Callista. Dovimban won't hurt your friends. Bore them with his lectures about order and the beauty of it, sure. But he won't kill them. They'll be free. And so will we.
No more guilds.
No more guilds. There's a knock on the door. And Kaya's secretary is like, excuse me? You told me to remind you, but if you were going to go home and get changed before your 1 o'clock meeting, you should probably... And Kaya's like, so sorry, I completely forgot. Kalista, I promise you, Dovimban is not a threat to your friends. He's not a threat to anything. His function is order, and that is the function he will fulfill. Mine is neutrality, and that is the function I will fulfill. And the chaos, well, the chaos is coming too. Don't worry.
I don't want to make you late.
It will all be okay. I promise. And she sort of squeezes your hand.
Okay.
And she is her normal self. Like, she's still sympathetic, nice. Seems genuinely to care about the plight of people on Ravnica. And convinced that Dovin is not a threat.
Has she left?
Yeah, she's sort of like, help yourself to whatever's in the office. Should be out by 6 o'clock. Don't worry about it. I got this. And then she leaves.
I want to know who her 1 o'clock appointment was.
I mean, are you checking her appointment book or like
Yes.
asking the secretary? Okay. Yeah, you look in her appointment book. And 1 o'clock is marked. Obzadat. That's all it says.
Okay.
And at this point, it's about 10:30.
All right. Let's check in on Cordelia.
Cordelia, what are you doing?
I'm going to my brother. You know, the judge.
Yes, I do know the judge. Who is your brother?
Roderick. That one. Yeah.
He's so nice.
He is nice.
Someone
he
is
gave me that
pacing their cell. Oh my god, Palin, calm down.
So yeah, and like Cordelia, she's a free woman. Everything's good the way she sees it, and she's just going to see her bro to thank him for the wink,
Yeah.
wink.
Yeah. You get there, and he's sober, right? Yeah, he's sober.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to the sober building. Take the elevator upstairs, get to his floor. He's in his office. He is dressed in his nicest clothes, though.
Right. Well, he's preparing for a big event.
Well, he's
Two big
preparing to go
events.
to a funeral.
Yeah.
Cordelia, I didn't expect to see you today.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. I know you probably have a lot going.
Big day.
Bigger than you know. And she'll close the door behind her. So, first, I want to say thank you that Britt did come in. Second,
And he gives you like the, oh no, honey, no.
yeah, but, bigger news, I got something. And she'll pull the journal out. And she'll wait for him to open it and be like, Delia, what the fuck? I don't need to write about my feelings. And until she's, like, explaining to him all
What is
the...
this?
it's Doombarn's journal. It kind of outlines that he is a pawn for Master. I don't think I really know who that is yet, but he's not a very nice fella.
Where did you get this?
So I found
You found it.
yes. You know how I opened up by saying the rent had come in handy, and yeah, it did. And
This
that's
is
good.
fruit of the poisonous tree. We can't use this.
Well, why not?
Any evidence not legally obtained is considered invalid. If I'm to accuse one of the masters, evidence needs to be above reproach.
Well, then search his house. I'm sure there's more.
Okay, fine. You stay here. I'll go confer with the guild master.
Okay.
And yeah, he leaves. You can sort of see him hurrying down the corridor, getting to the elevator, sort of like slamming it and it disappearing upwards.
Yeah, and I mean, she's in his office. I'm sure there's like waiting seat,
Mm-hmm.
and she'll just kind of twiddle her thumbs, paying attention to the time.
Give me a perception check.
Oh boy, it's fine. I have so much time.
Yeah. So much time. Callista,
Uh-huh.
what are you doing?
It's 10:30.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was 10:30 when she left the office. You know what? While you ponder that, why don't we
Yeah.
all take our break?
Okay, yes.
10 minutes.
Okay.
Good call.
Oh.
Yes, this is a fertile land, and we will thrive. We will rule over all this land, and we will call it this land. I think we should call it your grave. Oh, no,
Oh, no.
curse your
Curse
sudden
your
but
sudden
inevitable betrayal.
betrayal.
Ha ha ha! Mine is an
Down.
evil laugh. Now die. Oh God! Oh no! Oh good dear God in heaven! And the alarms go off.
Yep.
So Cordelia, you're in a very
Yeah.
fancy office in a very tall building, and you see a crowd of people gathering.
Oh golly. Oh golly. I gotta go.
Oh god.
And no sign of brother dearest?
No, but it's about like the funeral is here as well. So like, yeah, they're starting to gather for the funeral.
Okay. Is the secretary just gonna sit in the office and take messages?
No, you can sort of like
She's going to.
see her packing up and like.
Okie dokes. Well, I guess I can just go down and have the experience. And
Yes.
brush through my hair a little bit so I don't look completely like I slept in a jail cell.
Would be the distraction that we need to delay the election.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get down there. And there's like a slightly mournful atmosphere. I mean, it's a funeral. You see plenty of people. Like, such a shame. Such a shame. A great loss. Such a great loss.
I don't think she would ever respond to anybody, but just like silently nod, like she.
Yeah, it's more like no one really knows you. So no one's speaking directly to you. It's more like, people are speaking to other people that they know, but like the place is packed. Like there's probably 50,000 people here.
Oh boy.
So you're kind of like skirting the edges, trying not to get squashed like a bug.
Looking for corners, keeping an eye out for her buddy who's probably being super, super sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
What's the weather like?
It's dreary. A slight drizzle.
Yeah, I would definitely be funeral attire appropriate. But it helps when you're trying to sneak around when black is what everybody else is wearing too. And yeah, an umbrella also is fun for a drizzly day, but also one that you want to kind of maybe be keeping your face hidden from thopters.
Give me a stealth and an stealth and investigation. Uh-huh.
The investigation?
Mm-hmm. And Cordelia, give me a perception.
Oh golly, I did so well.
Yeah, you're sort of like looking around and like it seems fairly like normal for a funeral. It's a bit pompous. Like after maybe 20 minutes, someone takes center position and starts droning on, and it's basically a listing of Isperia and all her deeds. And I think I mean, she is a sphinx. And she has been alive for a long time. So it's quite nice that it does go on a bit. There's quite a few deeds. And it takes maybe like 20 minutes. That's like a listing of like greatest hits of Esperia. And various people take center possession after that. Some you recognize, some you don't. There is eulogies being held. All of the people up for the position of guild leader, Uzana, Leonis, and Dovimban, all give very nice speeches. And in addition, there are like a couple of other people who worked closely with Esperia. And it's very funeral-y, very respectful. The entire thing takes about 2 hours. It's like it's boring. It's a funeral. You didn't know
Jeez.
this person.
But you know what would be more boring? Sitting in a jail cell.
Valid, very valid. And like there is like an orchestra that plays at like intervals, like between the speakers, and you see Esperia, or the petrified form of Esperia, being dragged. There appears to be some kind of rolling implement underneath her shape. But she is settled into the hall, Great Hall of the Azorius Senate. Which is now considered to be her entombment. Yes, it's super realistic, the statue. Callista, give me a perception check. Like you're in, like you're both of you are in the crowd, sort of like close-ish by to each other, like trying to stay within eyesight, but you know, you're more conspicuous together than apart.
Mm-hmm.
You do see a couple of people that you recognize, like representatives from other guilds. You do catch a glimpse of Alexander, like in the crowd. You see that young man with the black hair. You've seen him once before.
Mm-hmm.
In your rendezvous with you-know-who. He's in the crowd. And You also notice a cloaked figure. She's cloaked. She has like a hood up, but you can just like she too seems to be holding a position where she's like somewhat stealthy. And I think what sort of like makes you notice her is the smirk on her face.
Do I recognize her?
Give me a history check.
No.
No.
Is she human or...
No. Oh no, she's definitely not human.
What is she?
Well, Azrael's having a panic attack. That's a Gorgon.
Okay. Don't know many of those.
No. But as they were listing all of Hesperia's achievements, they did mention the Dusk-End troubles. You learned about that in school. Was that time Azorius arrested any member of the Golgari swarm? And unfortunately, the cells were quickly filled beyond capacity. And then the Azorius were swept under in the tide of a prison riot. But a lot of Golgari died that day.
It's a reason to be mad.
Revenge is a dish best circled. And as soon as the statue has been put in its correct place, you hear a banging of like large drums. Hear ye, hear ye. A choice is upon us. A reckoning for our future. Primary vote will take place in 5 minutes. And you can see sort of people like shuffling, like people have obviously been given ballots. And they seem to be in separate shades of blue. So there's one who's like almost white, one who's like quite dark azure blue, and one that's like a medium blue. And you definitely see like the candidates seem to be like lobbying hard, and like people within guilds are like whispering and muttering. The first ballot shall be cast. And you see like hands going up all over the crowd. And it seems to be a pretty even mix, like as expected. Each of the columns will primarily vote for their own candidate. And there's like 25 minutes of people doing math before they come back and they're like, well, Uzana is the candidate who have gotten the fewest votes. So she is out, and they will vote again between Leonos and Dovenban. And you see, like, Usana, like, being a gracious loser, like, congratulating her two opponents and stepping down from the dais. And the man who was yelling earlier is like, hear ye, 5 minutes until second ballot. And at this point, it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Funeral took a couple of hours. First ballot took the voting took about 10 minutes, and the balloting took a little more time. Can I get a perception check from our prisoners?
Ja.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ja, na.
Yeah.
Oh, oh,
Ooh.
oh, damn. Oh,
Fuck! I really want to see what's going on. Fuck. Nat 20, Jesus
You got a
Christ.
nat 20 in each eyeball.
yeah. You have 20/20 eyesight.
I do. 2020.
It's much better than what I said. 2020 eyesight.
There's like a mood change. In the prison. Talon, you see your brother definitely like stiffening. Something is up. Someone is coming. And Mara, you see her first. And she's familiar. You've seen her before. Never close up. And she is beautiful. Like a queen, you know? She has that regal way of being. That certain terrifying beauty. And she seems to be floating. As Mistress Talia passes your cell,
I wish I was dead.
and I think Talon, you just catch a glimpse of her. She doesn't stop by your little hallway.
Nah, it's only Centaur's down here. It's Centaur hallway.
slightly
Horsey
bigger and full of
hallway.
horses than a normal hallway.
That's where you hold your horses.
This is where you come to horse around.
Oh, shame.
Ding ding.
Azrael, Azrael, Azrael. Why are you proving so problematic these days?
I missed my rebellion phase.
You're not grateful for this gifts I give you, are you? Come, come. And she's sort of like gestured for you to come all the way up to the door.
I will move to the front of the cell.
She like puts a hand through the bars and like strokes the side of your face. And then her hand grips you by the throat and lifts you slightly up in the air. You've made me very upset, Ashwell. Do you understand?
Is magic viable? Do I have the sense I can cast a spell?
No.
No. Fuck. Azra is just visibly struggling against her then.
Stealing? Really? This is what you've come to? You must be punished. And the way she says punished is like cake. You know, we
It's a
must have
treat for
cake.
someone in this situation.
And she like looks around and you see one of the guards like very hesitantly coming closer with like the key to the door and like opening it. Immediately backing away. Like, this guy is not a fool. Like, he recognizes an apex predator when he sees one.
Mm-hmm.
Come, come. And she sort of like just like drops you and gestures for you to exit your cell.
Azra like takes a moment to like breathe. And just like I'm assuming because she would have just collapsed to the ground from where she's just kind of like kneeling down just under her breath. Go fuck yourself.
Oh, it has a spine. How wonderful. She like leans down and just grabs the back of your jacket, pulls you up like a rag doll. And it's like, yeah, it's pretty much right over where your spine is, although she is clasping you by the fabric and not your skin. What a treat. I'll enjoy tearing that out. And the rest of you just hear like a lot of doors opening and closing as a bunch of guards just spring to whenever she's like, oh yes, we're walking out this door now. With luggage Azrael alongside her.
Fewer and fewer.
And yeah, it's not very long later when like someone comes and is like, "Follow me," and like it's very like routine. Like you're taken through like a room, you're made to sit down, not the centaurs. Um,
No, you're
And-
forced to sit down too.
and like there's this very bored Azorius worker who's like, name, okay, I got your release papers right here. Sign here, 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 and here. Is this the property you were brought in with? Okay, excellent. Moving on. Next. Like it is that.
Routine, bureaucratic.
Yeah, like it takes some time. Like there are like questions you need to answer and shit that you need to sign, and there's like forms in triplicate. It's Azorius. But around 4:30, you find yourself being guided up a very long hallway. And for the first time in the last 20 odd hours, you see daylight. And as you exit, you find yourself right about here. You can see the courtyard, the massive crowd. And you hear, second vote has been cast. Tallying. Mirai,
Mhm.
your magic has been it's there, but it's also like just beyond your ken. But now it's tangible again.
Okay. So Azrael got carted away.
Mm-hmm.
We see Talon.
Yeah, like Talon is there and his brother is there. You were all released.
Seems a little late to do anything about Dovin.
That has indeed sailed. We need to find both Callista and Cordelia.
Let me send them a message. I will attempt to message Callista. Where are you?
Message?
Sending.
Okay.
Third level.
Yep.
I mean, where are you? The Last of Us has been released from custody. That's what I'll send. Here's my Arcana roll.
Yeah, you get that message, Callista.
Okay, so I know where Cordelia is.
Mm-hmm. You have eyes on her.
Okay. Then
Should have also said like the foot of new prop.
yeah, I'll just reply with like kind of where I am in the crowd. And let's see. I can type it out to count letters or words, not letters. It's words. Yeah, screw it. It's a short message. I'm here at this place. Cordelia's nearby. We're not standing next to each other for the sake of stealth. And actually, when I hear her send the sending, I will also look to see where everyone else is. Just so I see if I can get an actual location on them as well. Or is it way too far away?
Yeah, no, and there's like 50,000 people between the two of you.
Right, yeah, okay.
Like, if the square was empty, you would have been able to see them, but like the
Okay.
massive crowd of people
Too
is
crowded.
blocking.
Okay. Well, yeah, knowing that, then just generally that we're in the crowd.
Okay.
If anything happens... low profile, meet at the Caldera.
Okay.
Mirai, give me a
Mhm.
perception check.
Sure.
You notice there's a man, and he's looking at you.
Okay.
He
Right.
is... how you say, human?
Human. I'm human.
I think he's human at least. Yeah.
Just a human guy just staring me down.
He has a bit of a stubble. Like, it's more than a 5 o'clock shadow. It's more like a
Okay.
4-day stubble.
Oh.
Dark tousled hair. And he's very familiar to you.
Okay.
Some would say it's like seeing a ghost. It's Altair.
Right. So, without taking my eyes off him, I called back to Talon and Aaron to go into the crowd and wait for something to happen. Meet at the caldera when we inevitably all lose each other. And I want to go try and talk to this ghost.
Yeah. He's just standing there looking at you.
I'll just march up to him and kind of talk as quietly as I think I can still be heard in the din of the crowd. It's like, is it really you?
Yes.
I'll like pinch him to make sure it's not an illusion.
Ow! We don't have much time.
I tried to stop Dovin Bond, but he's gonna get elected, and I got your message about the end of Ravnica. And
It's too late for that now.
so, what can I do?
Stay safe. Follow your gut. Trust your friends. For what it's worth, I am sorry. And he sort of like leans in and kisses the top of your head.
I'm going to build another time machine. I'm gonna come and save you.
It's too late for me now. We both know. It's too late for me.
I haven't done all the calculations. There's a chance.
You sort of like feel his arms around you as he hugs you. And it's like hard, like not painful, but like a really like, I just want to hold on for a second longer. And then it's gone. He doesn't step away, he doesn't walk. It's just gone. We have a tally. Dovin Bond is guild leader. And you hear the crowd in the like middle of the square erupt into cheers like, yay, we have a new guild leader. And from District 1, you hear the tolling of the bells. You've heard these spells before. You all know what they mean.
I will be walking back toward the caldera now.
Yeah, I think Cordelia would stand there like, jaw down for a second and then just start walking.
Yeah.
I feel like somewhat against the grain. I imagine like a bunch of people trying to get closer or like standing around, and there's just these few people like making their way the opposite direction.
It's incredibly depressed affect about them. Yeah. I'm sure we stick out a little.
Azrael,
That's me. What's up?
you were dragged out of the prisons. As soon as you find yourself out on the street, Talia puts you so you have your feet under you,
Mm-hmm.
but like she still definitely has a grip on you. Don't test me, child. We both know I'll hurt you. Who left?
Cordelia.
Cordelia.
There we go.
There.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, Discord.
And she's sort of like hand on neck guiding you like towards District 1.
I'm out of Azorius though, right?
Yeah. Oh, and the magic that you were like yearning for,
Yeah.
it's there.
Yeah, that shit's back, right? Awesome.
Mhm.
What are you gonna do?
Her hand is on the back of my neck, you said?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and I would like to summon my packed weapon and try and take a swipe at that lovely arm attached to me right now.
Sure. Why don't you roll me an attack roll? There's like a intake of breath from Talia. And it worries you. It's not how dare you or
Yeah.
it's how delicious. How about you make me think it is a wisdom saving throw. It's been a long time. She the feeling is familiar when you felt many, 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 many times before. This is Talia. You trust her. She is to be heeded. She is to be protected. You love her. You're charmed.
Fucker.
You know the thing that vampires do?
Yeah, I do know that thing that vampires do.
She's so smart. And the hand on your neck relaxes a little bit. Don't dawdle, child. We'll be late. And she just keeps walking. And you follow her like a dog on a leash. Because that was puppies do, isn't it?
Yeah, they go to bite people because they don't like being pushed around, and then they learn that it's a bad thing to do because she's just gonna get fucked with.
Mm-hmm. About 45 minutes later, I think everyone has reconvened in the caldera. Your brother is there mainly because you don't let him go anywhere else. I think
Pretty much.
every time he's like, I really should get. Mom will be. You're like, no.
But on the way, after having observed a certain someone, I would have taken Animal Messenger and tried to get a little birdie bird to at least get word to
To your
family
sis.
that, hey,
Yeah.
to that, hey, found the brother. By the way, terrible shit is going to happen. Should probably prepare for that.
Yeah. That's fair.
Just to not drag out the message. Like,
You get to the caldera. I mean, it's just before dinner rush is starting. The tables in the back are free, like they tend to be this time of day. Azrael is conspicuously absent.
yeah.
Well, that happened.
That happened.
Did I mention the conspiracy between Dovimban and other prominent members of guild? Yeah? Okay. God, I need a drink. And like as your brother says that, as if by magic, Kairos appears. Those are the magical words, my friend. What can I get you?
Ice cream,
Syrup,
please.
wine. Okay, ice cream. Let's see, we're changing it up. He's like wine at Mirai. Whiskey.
Something a bit stiffer.
Ah, bring the bottle kind of day. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want it brown or you want it clear? Ah, Kairos knows.
Yeah.
This is a vodka kind of day. I will bring bottle.
Thank you, Kairos.
You almost went Russian.
Can you make me a hot toddy, please?
Hot toddy. Kairos can make balls grow on your chest. Let's mix my metaphors here.
That's not that happened.
I would like to
Please.
skip that order, please.
God damn. Oh
I was like, I was going for a hair scroll on your
Yeah.
chest, and then I was like, no, hair scroll on your ball. Ball scroll on your chest.
no. No.
I mean, if that's what you want to call them, Carlos. Sure.
Hairy balls on your chest. I don't know. I was mixing some metaphors there. But yes, like about a minute later, a bottle of vodka appears with just like a handful of glasses. And he's like, your hot toddy is coming right up. And from behind his back, he's like, mistress. And in front of Callista is a concoction. It appears to be 3 different flavors of ice cream: strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate. It has then been doused in, I would say, a pretty hefty layer of alcoholic syrup, covered in whipped cream, and topped with sugared, like banana flakes, dried and sugared banana flakes. And then It probably should be finished with a solid swirl of chocolate syrup,
Mm-hmm.
but it isn't. There's just a bottle of chocolate syrup.
Yes.
And you see like one of the serving girls like coming out with like a hot drink. Like that one took a little bit longer because they had to heat it. But there's like, as she puts it down in front of you, this isn't a hot toddy. It's like a mulled wine if you replaced all the wine with whiskey. Ah, good, my friends, yes. Sort of pats the closest person on the back and then heads back into the kitchens.
Closest persons now being 2 centaurs who cannot
Yeah.
sit.
Yeah, like both of them get like the butt pat and then he like wanders off. Your brother like doesn't even he just like picks up the bottle of vodka, uncorks it with his teeth, just fills one of the glasses to the brim and downs it. And like this isn't like a shot glass, this is like a milk glass.
Like Mariah pours out a glass and then just drinks from the bottle.
Before you all die of alcohol poisoning, mayhaps we should discuss everything transpired.
What's there to discuss? The world is ending and we're just along for the ride. He sort of like nudges Mariah to like, hey,
right.
don't be stingy, pass the bottle.
Delia will raise her glass to that.
Wonderful, so you have all just given up. I'll leave you to your drinking then.
Talon, don't be like that. Can we be allowed to mourn for like an hour for what could have been before we start planning for the post-apocalyptic wasteland we're about to find ourselves in?
Do we have an hour?
Probably.
Probably not.
Yeah, there's definitely like, why the fuck do you have to be so sensible all the time? Can we just wallow a little bit? Come on.
Or what do you think that we should do?
We know for a fact that the now guild leader of Azorius
Is evil.
is evil.
And
But
from
before we
another
figure
planet.
what? Oh.
I think it's notable.
In any case, did the ones who actually managed to get inside and out again of his home learn anything in there that made it worthwhile?
Yeah, I learned some things.
I mean, do we really want to talk about this right now? My question is, he just took control. He was planning on taking control. Obviously, he's gonna be aware of what we were doing. We got arrested. Like, he knows. He knows.
Wonderful.
So
So
we just
he
have to do
knows.
something so unlike us that he can't account for it.
I think that there's more things that he can't account for.
I mean, you managed to avoid getting captured, didn't you, Callista?
Yeah. He has those Thopters, and it's pretty good, but there's ways around them, and it's kind of how he knows all of his stuff. He's not really that impressive otherwise. We just have to change the way that we do things a little bit, instead of... We have to always assume that he can see us. So sometimes maybe the best thing to do is to show him what he wants to see.
Like drinking.
Well, I don't think he has a doctor in here, but I get your point, yes. We have to be really careful about what we say and where. And for now, maybe the best thing to do is just kind of go along. There's a lot of things in motion that we don't have any way to account for. And by the sounds of it, tonight's gonna be a big one. Do you play cards?
Who are you asking?
Anybody at the table?
I've played a couple card games.
Yeah. I enjoy
Is there
them.
money involved?
There can be.
I play cards.
Do you want to play a game of cards right now?
Sure, why the hell not?
This is Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is anybody else playing? Or is it a heads up
I'll
game?
play. I'll play.
Cordelia will play too.
You know
Talon,
me.
Mirai.
Yeah.
If you give me a moment. I go up to Kairos. Just
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he's behind the counter, like, just keeping an eye. It's starting to fill up. The dinner time rush is starting.
an extra bottle, if you would please. Rum.
Coming right up, son.
Wonderful.
Does
I go
that
back to
vodka
the-
need a refill?
Yes.
I'll bring one extra.
I'm in.
Woo!
Yeah. And not 2 minutes later, there's 2 more bottles on the table. One with rum, one with vodka. Nostrovia!
We're gonna get trashed and gamble. I thought I got away from all that. I left that life behind me in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
So Callisto will deal out the cards.
Mm-hmm.
So does anybody know where Azra is? You said that everyone was released, but you don't know where she went.
Talia came for her.
Mistress.
I see.
Azra's mistress.
Yep. You've been, like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
been mentioned.
I see.
She was fucking terrifying.
Hmm. She's like the embodiment of ice. Or steel, there's no kindness to her. At least that's what I could discern from a glance.
Yeah, but she's easy.
Oh, what makes you say that?
Callista throws her chips into the pot.
Mm-hmm. Aaron is like, I'll call.
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 Bold. This isn't my hand.
Cordelia, will you show me your cards?
At the end of the round, yeah.
But not right now? Why not right now?
Because the game's still in play.
Interesting. Callista flips the next card over and throws her chips in.
Call.
Raise one chip.
Raise 2.
Call.
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 The stakes are getting high. You sure you don't want to get out?
At this point, what do I have to lose, you know?
She'll flip the next card over and push all of her 5 gold that's left into the pot.
Call.
Call.
Well, call.
You must all be feeling quite confident in your hands.
Nope.
We're just pot committed.
That's the word for it, isn't it?
Yeah.
We started playing this game. One person got out early. The rest of us didn't. And now we're stuck here. But Cordelia didn't show her hand in the beginning of the game because that would have been a bad idea. Everybody would have known how to play around her, right?
Right.
So when somebody like Talia shows you every day how to play around them, they're easy. What do you got?
Oh, that's an actual card? That's an actual...
Proficiency with the playing cards. Yeah,
Yeah.
the tool.
Otherwise, it's just an int check on Skull.
Okay.
Yeah, we're both.
I should have
Alright.
stayed in. Could have used a portent. It was an in
Yeah.
check.
Like, Mirai would have won this hands down. Oh, hey, well, yeah, lot better than I expected. A lot better.
Hmm. 16, 3, 12. And, yeah. The cards, like, come down on the table. I feel like Callista, what are you showing?
Well,
Like, what's on the table?
if everyone's called,
Yeah, I think
yeah, and we're playing Texas Hold'em, then we've
Mhm.
got what is showing on the table?
Mhm.
Probably 2 kings, an ace, A 9 and a 10. Off-suited.
Yep. What are you showing? You're the winning hand. Like,
Oh,
Cordelia has like a set of, you know,
I see.
Two
Then
eights.
it was pocket aces.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't think my hand was much at the beginning, but it really came together in the end there. Maybe I should have stayed in.
Can I tell you a secret? You can keep your money. Because I knew your hand from the beginning. I knew mine and I knew Cordelia's and Aaron's and Talon's. It was never a fair game. I don't play fair games.
Aaron is like flipping his cards over. And it's like Jack, Queen. And like, you know he's cheating because like these are not the cards you dealt him.
Mhm.
You're like, this piece of shit
Yeah.
had like this were not the cards that he was dealt.
Mhm.
And then he like flips it over. Ace King. Double nines. He's like just
That's
like
a cool party trick.
anyone who plays the hand that they were dealt are fucking losers.
Mhm.
That's not very nice.
That's very rude, as a matter of fact.
If you care about the outcome, make sure you rig the game.
Calista
I
smiles and
prefer to
nods.
play fair, especially among friends. Because there's fun in chance, but it's not going to kill you.
But the metaphor was more to do with people that are not your friends and are like giant terrifying dragons and also vampires that are abusing your friends.
Well, then you just kill them.
Yeah, sometimes it's that easy. It helps to be able to get in really close though.
That's true.
So, I got an offer to join the Azorius while I was in prison.
Oh.
That's a weird power dynamic.
Yeah. Thought I should let you guys know, though, in case we want to figure out a way I could be like a mole on the inside.
The more information we have, the better.
Would you actually feel comfortable in that situation?
No. But at a
Wouldn't
certain
it be
point,
better?
we're gonna have to leave comfort aside. And what would be better?
Wouldn't it be better to keep an eye on the moles within? Is it?
Mm. May have a point. I'm not sure I know fully what's going on in my own guild.
We know there's a traitor in Celestia. We know there's a traitor in Azorius. We know there's a traitor in Orzhov. Wouldn't it be foolish not to think that there are in other guilds as well?
Probably within every guild.
Not Boros.
Well,
Wishful
we'll see.
thinking.
We have the Wojaks to literally go after all internal struggle. There's an entire sect of my guild that is dedicated to sniffing out inner. There's a word. The player's forgetting the word.
Turmoil, struggle.
Strife?
It starts with the
Corruption.
Conflict.
corruption. Thank you, Joe. The Wojaks sniff out Boros corruption within the guild.
That's literally the very first thing that I would corrupt then.
You don't think the other guilds thought themselves to be incorruptible? This is a problem for all of Ravnica.
I think we just have to kind of like go with the flow a little bit, for appearance's sake, and just try to not draw a lot of attention to ourselves and keep kind of working on this together and see where it goes.
Well, yeah, and I think having a consistent planned game night amongst us would be a good time to see each other's cards.
That's a very good idea, Cordelia. And I may have a place to do it soon. I'll keep you updated.
Okay.
She like shrieks across the room to Kairos. Something about butterscotch.
Okay.
I like to think you just scream out for scotch, and somehow Kairos knows you don't mean scotch the
Yeah,
drink.
it's butterscotch.
Butterscotch
Yeah,
all the way.
topping, yes.
He like comes out carrying a mug, and it's like way too big to be a mug full of butterscotch, and he just puts it on the table. He's like, sorry honey, this is what we got.
What is it?
He takes one of the glasses and pushes it over, places it next to the mug. It is like a water mug, but it appears to be like a thick white liquid. Not milk, not cream, it's thicker than that.
I'll sniff it.
It smells very strongly of vanilla and sugar.
Oh, I used to love that stuff as a kid.
Kairos.
Yeah, hon.
You're the very best.
Damn right. It's good with vodka too. And he sort of like wanders back into the kitchen.
We need to find a way to get Azra.
Yeah.
So, what do you suggest?
Maybe we could just visit. You said that you saw her leave with Talia, so... You know, we just pretend like, oh, we don't know what's going on, and... Oh, is she around? Because there's some stuff we got to talk about because of the odds of that and all that. We have to check in. It's a pretty big deal.
What was that word?
Obsidat?
Yeah, what's that?
You're
They're the Ghost Council. Well, they were the Ghost Council.
yeah, that. Don't they like run your guild or something?
Yeah, pretty much.
How does that
Oh.
work? Is there like
Death?
deceit?
Yeah, pretty much they just keep track of all the debts and stuff. Well, they did.
They
Oh,
did when they were alive?
Yeah, and also when they were undead, but they're gone now, so...
Oh. Is that more changes coming to Ravnica?
Yeah, pretty big one.
I suppose it's no coincidence it happened the same day that Dovin Bond came.
Nope.
Maybe I should check in with my guild, make sure no crazy change happened today.
It's a good idea.
So, we don't want to check on Azra first?
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll go.
I'm just making a to-do list.
I think it would be best if Callista, as she said, went.
Alone?
Do you really want to go alone to that
Did
house?
Thalia seem in a good mood when she left?
I mean, I'd prefer not to.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not.
What are the odds that she will murder us if we show up at her doorstep?
Would she murder all of us? No. One of us, probably.
I think we could do it. Maybe there is somebody I should talk to first. Might help us.
Okay.
You can come along. We just have to talk to Azra's sister really quick.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Where do you head?
To the Prospero's house.
Yeah, it's around 6 o'clock in the evening. Right smack bang in the middle of dinner time.
Great.
A servant opens the door. May I help you?
Is Sabriel here?
Who should I say is calling?
Callista.
And he sort of like gestures you to like a parlor that's obviously meant to like contain guests from wandering the house.
That's fair.
And you hear footsteps shuffling away. This is not the butler. It's not the guy you met before. Just the doorman. And like not 2 minutes later, you hear like the lighter tones of Sabriel's voice. Well, of course you should have just brought them to the dining room. Callista's family. The door opens. I'm so sorry. Oh. Well, this is a crowd. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Callista, how lovely to see you again. And she sort of like, reaches out both her hands to take yours and like tugs you closer for a hug. But like the polite, like, these are strangers, we don't know them.
Mm-hmm.
What is going on?
I'm sure that you've heard by now what's happened. There's trouble. Azra was in jail for a little bit, but she's out now, which is the bad news.
Yeah, you see like, oh no. Okay. Wait, what?
She left with Talia. And she wasn't happy.
Oh.
Did Mirai hear anything, or whoever was there hear anything about Azra trying to fight back? Or is that a detail that we just all wouldn't know?
I mean, the person who was closest is Talon. Mirai was the furthest away.
Okay.
And I rolled shit perception.
Okay.
Mhm.
Fair enough.
We can assume though.
We were all supposed to meet up, and she didn't come.
I see. Please. Have a seat. I'll be right back. And she leaves the room. Looking quite serious.
So we think Sabriel can help us?
Sabriel has all kinds of friends.
Okay.
And it takes maybe 10 minutes. Well, she's gonna have to leave the house in about an hour. She should be gone for about 3 to 4 hours. It's not a lot of time, but should do, no?
Should be fine. And her security.
I think it would be best to assume that it is intact and loyal.
What about that friend of yours? Could he be of any help?
Tomek?
No. The other one.
Only if you want explosions.
Explosions are good.
Then he will be available.
When we get her out, Talia is going to come for her again.
Yes.
She'll come for you too.
Who, me?
All of you. All of us.
Well, I'm just Sabriel Prospero. I'm just a young girl, not even considered an adult. Why would I be responsible for, well, anything? That's for grown-ups. And she gives you like that, oh, look at me, I have dimples, kind of smile. Now, so unfortunate about the Ghost Council meeting their unfortunate end. All of the pontiffs will just be so tied up in paperwork and meetings. Probably for weeks on end. Yeah, she'll come. Eventually. Let's just hope we have a plan before then.
It's not the best, but it's definitely not the worst. Alright.
Oh. Welcome
Yay!
back.
Hey,
Discord is being super weird.
it
Yeah,
really
yeah.
is.
It's being a little bitch, is what it
Yeah.
is.
Azrael,
Yo.
you are compliant. You are calm. All is well. I mean, Talia, you love her. And like she only hurts you when she has to. Because you need to learn. Just like sometimes you have to make a pet know its place. And sometimes you forget to. And you're so sorry. Talia takes you home. Which is nice. You have a chance to like wash away the muck of prison. There are nice new clothes laying on your bed. It's all white. And you sit down for dinner. There's a messenger for Talia. It's around 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Talia does seem concerned, but focused on the situation at hand. And, you eat a little bit. Talia doesn't. You drink a little bit. Talia doesn't. And after you've, cleaned up, gotten some food, feel slightly better about your night in jail, she takes you up to her room. And she puts you in front of the mirror, in front of the dresser. And she's standing behind you. And it's like weird because she doesn't have a reflection, but you do.
Oh, no.
Do you see what's missing in this picture?
You are?
And she like strokes your cheek. And then she grabs the side of your face and smashes it into the mirror. My keys!
I threw them away.
You can make a wisdom save.
Yup. I'm going to use DM Inspiration to re-roll that.
Okay.
Oh!
You're no longer charmed.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wonderful.
Where are my keys?
I threw them away. And I would like to cast a spell real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to attempt to cast that spell.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to go 500 feet just away. Just like in the, where I assume fucking like the door would be, like,
Oh, like 500 feet. You can get out of the house.
yeah, like I just want to be out of the house. I want
Yeah.
to bamf out of the house.
Yeah, sure. I'm just gonna... Yeah. You took 10 bludgeoning damage from the smash and grab.
Okay.
And yeah, you teleport out of the house. And you hear, like, you're 500 feet away, and you hear, like, a screeching sound of, like, oh!
Yup. Fuck you, bitch. Smash my head against something else. I'm fucking bolting for fuck, she knows where I go. Everywhere I go.
Mhm.
I need to find.
You need to find someone you can trust. That's what you need to do.
Fucking I know.
Oh man, so Destiny.
Our tree father who art in tree heaven.
Fuck, how much do I trust them? No, I'm gonna go find Alex.
I mean, it was a big day for Azorius. You know where to find him.
Yep.
And yeah, it's about an hour later when our brave hero shows up.
Oh
Oh no!
god.
And
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
that is where we're gonna pick up next session.
Nice. Okay.
Oh.
Uh,
Yeah.
You can all